This is our first ride here on the SunRail on the opening day of the commuter rail service. Now, you've been looking forward to this for a long time. Tell me about why you want to ride the SunRail.
It's a big day for me because I've been driving Interstate 4 now since 2007, and even before that I had 5 more years on I-4. It's horrible. You know, I mean, even last week, these terrible wrecks. A couple nights ago, I was driving back home from work, and there's torrential rainstorm. I can barely see the road, and I was gripping the steering wheel and saying to myself, one more day, that's all it is. So I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
So tell me about kind of how it went so far this morning before we even got on the train. I mean, the parking and all that.
Yeah, I got to the DeBerry parking lot about 7 o'clock, and I was really surprised at how many cars were there. In fact, for a minute I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to get a space. Turns out there were plenty of spaces at the back, but it was really crowded.
Now, why do you think this is important for Central Florida to have a commuter rail train? There's not a whole lot of trains in Florida in general. I know there's one down in Miami, but this is the first one in Central Florida. And tell me why you think that's important.
Well, you know, there's been some disagreement about whether or not Central Florida needs a train and whether or not it's a good investment. And, you know, that's a healthy debate. But, you know, from the perspective of someone who is a commuter, you know, what this just gives us is a different way to get to work. And, you know, without that, we're stuck in our cars. We have no other way to get to where we're going. And you know, it's a lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted productivity out there on the highway while people are still stopped in traffic. So this allows people to, if I wasn't doing this morning, I'd probably have my phone out. I'd be checking my email.
Wait, while you're driving?
No, while I'm on the train, man. See, I couldn't do that while I was driving. I'd be checking my email before work. I'd be caught up by the time I get in. So, you know, I mean, for people like me, this is a good alternative. You know, I'm a little nervous, frankly, about not having my car. I mean, I've had it all these years, so if I needed to leave and go somewhere, I kind of would be stuck. But, you know, this is what faces commuters everywhere around the country who ride trains. So I'm no different from them. So I'll figure it out. You know, we'll all figure it out.
What are some of the concerns that, you know, maybe people who aren't on board, to use a word, for SunRail, what have been some concerns?
Well, you know, people say it's not going to pay for itself, which is true. Hardly any, I don't know of a mass transit system in the United States that does pay for itself. They all have to be subsidized in the same way that we subsidize highways and other roads. So, you know, there's some concern about the cost. There's also some concern that, you know, 7 years from now, right, for 7 years the state is going to pay the cost of operating this train. 7 years from now, that responsibility is going to be taken over by cities and counties that are part of this system.
As we look over to I-4, it's pretty busy. It's not stopped, but it's pretty busy right now. And, oh, well, it's slowing down, though, as we get close to Colonial and the exit that I might get off at sometimes. So, you know, this is going to be a benefit to a lot of people. And we probably only have about 2-3 more minutes before our last stop. And that means we're going to get off, we're going to get to work, and we're going to be working on more photos and stories and videos for the rest of the day on the opening day of SunRail. So be sure to check out OrlandoSentinel.com. I'm John Bustegger. This is Mike Lafferty. We'll see you later.